Śrī Rāma uvacha Kshatriyo hang munishveshta bharya me rakshasa hrita yaditang na nihanmyasu jivane me stiking phalam. Śrī Rāma said, O foremost of the sages, I am a warrior. My wife has been abducted by the demon. If I do not kill him outright, what is the use of my living anymore? Ataste tattva bodhena name kinchit prayojanam kama krodhadaya sarve dahantyete tanung mama. Therefore, there is no use in your teaching me philosophy. My body is consumed by lust, anger, and all that go with them. Ahankaropi me nityang jivanang hantu mudyataha. Egotism, too, is constantly gnawing at my life. Hritayang nijakantayang shatruna vamatasya va yasya tattva bhubhutsa syat saloke purushadhamaha. When one's beloved wife has been abducted or dishonored by the enemy, that man seeking to know the philosophical truth is the basest of mankind in the world. Tasmat tasya vadopayang langayitvam buddhing rane bruhi me munishardula tvato nanyosti me guruhu. Therefore tell me, O tiger among sages, the way to kill Ravana, crossing the ocean and engaging him on the battlefield. There is no preceptor for me other than you. Agastya uvacha Evam checharanang yahi Pārvatī patimavyayam Sachet prasanno bhagavan vanchitartang pradasyati. Agastya said, If you surrender thus unto the Lord of Pārvatī, the imperishable, and if he, the Lord, appears before you, he will grant you all your cherished needs. Devaya rajeya sakradyar harina brahmana piva sate vadhya katang vasyat shamkaranugrahang vina. And how is he who cannot be defeated even by Hari, Brahma, and gods like Indra to be killed by you without the grace of Lord Shiva? Atastvam dikshayishyami Virajā margamashritaha tena margena martyatvam hitva tejo mayo bhava. Therefore, I will initiate you on the basis of the blemishless Virajā Shiva Agama, through which you can become resplendent with power, transcending mortality. Yena hatva rane shatrun sarvang kaman avapsyasi bhuktvad bhumandale chante Shiva sayujyamapsyasi. Destroying the enemies in the battle by that initiation, you will attain all your desires, and having enjoyed the entire earthly kingdom, you will attain union with Lord Shiva in the end. Namaste. So Rama says, Kshatriyoham, I am a warrior, and I have a code, an ethical code that I follow. And if my wife is abducted by the enemy, then I have to fight him. Even if my death is certain, I would rather die a noble death fighting on the battlefield than sulk away somewhere and hide, and live a long life in fear and cowardice. Because those are really the only two alternatives. The same discussion happened in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna didn't want to fight. He said, I can't kill my relatives in battle. How terrible is that? I mean, that is also against the code of the Kshatriya, but because his relatives had already broken that code, he was justified in fighting with them. And Krishna told him very forcefully, if you attempt to run from this battle, your enemies are not going to leave you alone. You won't be able to retire to the Himalayas. They're going to pursue you to the ends of the earth. So you have to put an end to this. These demons have been harassing you now for your whole life. Finish it here and now. And Rama has the same mood. Said, my wife has been abducted by this demon. How can I just sit here and talk about philosophy? He's a bit dismissive of Agastya's instructions because Agastya is talking about the nature of the soul and the relationship with the body and all this kind of stuff. Rama doesn't want to hear it. What can I do, practically speaking, to defeat this Ravana? Now, how did Ravana get so powerful for a demon that he could defeat even the demigods, the devas? He got a boon from Shiva. Shiva's boon is more powerful than even Vishnu. So how did he get Shiva's boon? By doing some amazing service for Shiva. And Shiva, the way Shiva is, he'll give you whatever you want, even if it's not good for you. He'll give you enough rope. You can hang yourself. And this is what happened to Ravana. I mean, there are people, even today, here in Sri Lanka, who worship Ravana, who think he's great. And they put down Rama, and like, it's very strange. But these cults exist. Because Ravana received a tremendous boon from Lord Shiva. But that's the nature of Shiva. Ashutosha, easily satisfied. He's also easily angered. So if someone accepts a big boon from him and then goes off and does adharma, Shiva will make sure that he's finished. Shiva is known as Tripura, the three cities, because he destroyed the three cities of the demons who were on islands in the ocean. Because in the beginning, they were following Dharma. They were doing especially the fire sacrifices, the Vedic jagnas, Agnihotra, Homa. But over time, they dropped these ceremonies. They became puffed up. They developed hubris, like the modern technologists of today, the material scientists, the dualists. They think, oh, well, we have all this technology. We don't need religion. We have all this wealth. Why do we need, nature? We can exploit nature. We can develop all these tricks to get energy and so forth. But of course, what they're doing is sawing off the limb that they're sitting on, because we are utterly dependent on nature. And if nature starts to dislike us and turn against us, well, our own actions will be our undoing. And that's exactly what happened to Ravana. Ravana got puffed up. He thought he could kidnap Brahma's wife and there wouldn't be any consequences because Shiva would protect him. But Shiva does not protect people who act against the Dharma. That's the thing. If you want Shiva's protection, You have to be a disciplined sadhu. You know, one of the names of Shiva is Shani, Saturn. And the astrological influence of Saturn has to do with discipline, especially religious discipline. If one transgresses the laws of religious morality, Shiva is not going to protect him. Why? Because he himself developed the law of karma. He's not going to transgress his own laws. That would be contradictory. And he is anything but contradictory. So Shiva will withdraw his support, and then one will fall, whether the causes are internal or external. Ultimately, it is because one has violated his contract with Shiva, that Shiva is going to give you whatever you desire, yes, but you have to follow Dharma. Otherwise, he will subtly remove that support, that protection, and you will fall. So Rama is becoming the instrument of Shiva in defeating Ravana, who misused the power given him by Shiva to act against the Dharma. This is the subplot, or the background to the action that's taking place here. So what is it? Rama surrenders to Agastya, and then he asks Agastya for a boon, or actually for instructions, how to defeat Ravana. And he says, if you surrender to Shiva and please him by your service, he will give you a weapon powerful enough to defeat Ravana, the Pashupata arrow. The Pashupata is extremely powerful. In fact, it's used to destroy the universe at the end of the creation. So there's nothing that can stand against it. One may have the greatest mystic powers or whatever, but Shiva's words remain true. Yes, he gave those powers to Ravana, but now he's giving a greater power to Rama. Because Ravana didn't know what to ask for. Ravana just wanted personal pleasure, power, wealth, that sort of thing. He didn't really want enlightenment, self-realization. And that's his downfall. He asks Shiva for things that are really not becoming. You know, if you're going to approach Shiva, you better ask for something extraordinary. Not just a great dynasty that can't be defeated by anybody, any material means, including the gods themselves. That's a trivial thing to ask from Shiva. No, ask Shiva for eternal existence, unlimited consciousness, and eternal unlimited bliss. That's the kind of thing you ask Shiva for. And guess what? He'll give it. So in the succeeding episodes and chapters, Agastya is going to describe this Pashupata vow. Sometimes he calls it Pashupata, sometimes he calls it Virajā. Now, what is Virajā? Virajā is the river between life and death. So by taking this Virajā vow, one crosses that river and reaches the other shore without dying. This is the amazing thing. One masters, in fact, the Virajā river and becomes immortal. Aum Tat Sat. Aum Shakti Aum. Aum Namah Shivaya.